Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Thunder Force, starring Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer, and directed by Ben Falcone. Now when it comes to Ben's filmography, when it comes to Tammy, The Boss, and so forth, he's certainly made a lot of low-rent, bottom-of-the-barrel comedies with Melissa McCarthy, which is probably why his films have ended up on Netflix at this point. And despite the presence of Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer, who are legitimately talented actresses when they're given good scripts, they're unfortunately put into a film that uses pretty much none of their talents. And it's almost as bad as, I'd say, the 2005 version of the Fantastic Four films, in terms of how it's generally got poor writing, a lot of poor pacing, and not to mention very little actual superhero work here. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story stars Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer as two friends who end up trying to take out these supervillains called the Miscreants after they end up killing Octavia Spencer's character in the past. While Spencer basically ended up being a high-tech super genius with her very own company, Melissa McCarthy is basically the down-on-her-luck has-been that people think will amount to nothing. Sort of like an Adam Sandler character in that respect. But when Melissa McCarthy ends up with this super strength serum that allows her to become a superhero alongside Octavia Spencer, who has invisibility powers, they become the Thunder Force as they try to, rescue the citizens of Chicago. And that's all I'll say about the story. Basically, the story here isn't based on an existing comic or anything, but it certainly does feel as generic as possible when it comes to these superhero stories. That's not technically a bad thing as long as there's good comedy and good action to go along with it. But unfortunately, this is a bottom-of-the-barrel Netflix film, so of course the comedy is basically a lot of film references that a lot of people won't get, and a lot of lazy slapstick comedy that you've probably seen and got tired of for years of Melissa McCarthy doing the same thing with diminishing returns. Granted, her and Octavia Spencer try their best in the roles, but they're just clearly not suited for them. And even when some other funny side characters, especially this one crab supervillain played by Jason Bateman, come in, they can't really fix the poor script and the fact that they have very little to work with. On top of that, while there are a couple of laughs here and there, mainly from the occasionally funny line or the occasional backstory that actually managed to get a chuckle out of me, the action scenes do not help have it hold up. Obviously, it's a superhero comedy and not an action movie, but the action here is basically not only not very good in a choreography sense, but the effects almost looks like a 90s UPN show or one of the low-rent X-Men movies. So yeah, certainly not a winner. It's hardly a crime against cinema, as it does have a few laughs and it doesn't last too long, but as far as superhero films go, it's pretty bad. And that's why I'm going to give Thunder Force a 4 out of 10. See you next time.